morning, everybody. Welcome to City Life. My name is Linda Bown. I'm going to be your host with Hillari Wennerstrom, my co-host from Tewksbury, former select woman and school committee woman. And we're going to have Sam Meas on a little bit, who is running for state senator. So I hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July, an eventful, really, just a pleasant holiday. How was yours, John?
Delicious.
That's good. That's a good sign.
Mine was delicious. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Last firework was too hot to go outside. I watched fireworks on TV most of the night.
Yeah. I'm not a big, we were just discussing, I can watch fireworks for a few minutes and
I
then
enjoyed Boston and Washington activities,
yeah.
and
That drone show that they did in Boston was incredible.
Yes.
yeah,
I have a lot of questions about that. I wonder if you know how that whole thing works.
there's a lot of drones up there.
Yeah.
So each individual speck of light is a different drone, is that?
Yes,
And are they all controlled by the same person to make the
they're
formation?
controlled by a computer. It's pre-programmed. Each one has a different frequency,
Okay.
and it's like you telling your toes to wiggle and moving your fingers at the same time.
I was just
One
very
computer
fascinated
does everything.
By the formations and how they, transitioned one into another. So I wondered how that was all.
Well, it's usually just a pattern of it's a big square, a big rectangular drones flying in position, and they just turn the lights on at different times.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Interesting, because it.
That makes more sense to me now.
Me too, because I was thinking, like, how do all those little drones go up there and not crash? Like, somebody has to be off by a second, and they crash into one another.
They have special permission not to have blinky lights. Anything that's flying has to have blinky lights 24/7. If I fly my drone, there are 2 lights that are blinking all the time. So you can see them at nighttime.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a must. It isn't like an option. If you have a drone, it has to blink even during the daytime.
Okay.
And they must have got special permission to shut those blinky lights off because they did a magnificent
Very
job.
interesting.
It was very impressive. I was very impressed by it. And
I'll see if I
like
can
said-
find a Las Vegas fireworks show. Unbelievable dragon,
Oh.
if I can find it.
Well, it was. I mean, it was. I'm glad people had a good time. It seemed like most people were enjoying it. It's summer and.
And I think for them, there was some people I know that were slated to have cookouts and do fireworks, and with the extreme heat and dryness, they changed their plans a little bit or revised them. So that was also,
Oh, and the
Good.
terrible storm.
yeah.
We didn't get it in Tewksbury. We got nothing in Maine.
Boston, yes, I saw that they had to evacuate the Esplanade. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't let people in until much later because of the extreme heat, and then once they got in there, they had to evacuate them.
Well, I'll show my age. The last time I was at the Esplanade on July 4th was with Fiedler,
Okay.
so which was delightful. He was amazing.
Yeah, I like you watched more on TV than I saw live. I could hear a lot. There was about an hour straight of loud booms. But
Yeah. Are you a soccer fan?
we've been, yes, we're a soccer family, so we,
Now I don't know. I am not. It's not my sport at all. I didn't understand it. What was that call a troublesome call or not?
I think what's troubling is that they've now gone to this, video assisted referee, and so that person is, not even sometimes in the country, right? So they could be wherever. They're just watching the videos of the game, and so soccer used to just be the ref on the field. If he called it, he called it. If he didn't, he didn't. And there was now, goals are reviewed by, a video assistance. And so when you play something in slow motion, it looks very different than live. So the live ref didn't call it. The live ref is supposed to ask for video assistance, not the video assistant flag the ref. And so that, I think, is what they appealed, was that the ref on the field didn't ask for it. The video just, that's my understanding. And
Well, that's interesting because
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of the VAR for a number of reasons. One, it slows the game down, tremendously when everything potentially has to be reviewed. And two, you can watch anything in slow motion and it can kind of change the way it happens, right? You can make something look completely different running it in slow motion than versus fast. And, when you're big grown men chasing a ball like that, somebody's bound to.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't, come from behind and pull him
He didn't
down.
clip him,
He didn't go
take a
in
cheap
blind.
shot.
Yeah, with no ball. They were both going and just happened to, bodies come down and there's only so much space. That's my feeling on it. But anyway, there was other games where the VAR also, kind of interjected and changed the trajectory of the game.
Well, it's like now hockey. I do know, and sometimes they're paying attention, sometimes they aren't.
Right.
And that seemed to be the case. That it happens a lot, and there was a big brouhaha about it.
Yeah.
So, but I thought they did very well, considering it's not our sport, so to speak.
Right. They did, do well. Like anything, you have an off night. They were playing great, and
Yeah.
but this has been a World Cup where there's been a lot of really good teams. I think so.
Well, was it Argentina?
They almost lost yesterday
Yeah. And they came from
back in
behind, and
in the last 15
well, he's supposed to be
minutes.
the best in the world or something, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
He is. I had an anxious Argentina fan in my house yesterday during the game.
Okay.
There was a lot of back and forth when they went down 2-0, whether they could come back in 15 minutes, and sure enough.
Well, it was pretty good, And I think a lot of people were rooting for Norway, because they just seem to be, they're like Scotland. They were just delightful.
Yes. And the, player from Norway is in line for, he's a goal scorer in the league he's in, and he's in line to win the Golden Boot. So
who do you think will take it? Because I have no idea.
I mean, when I thought Argentina was going out, Norway would be my next choice, but Argentina might just prove that's hard to beat.
Well, because that to me, that's the
You're
joy
not
of
out. Yes.
team sports.
You're not out.
You can just.
But being down, I've seen so many games. Being down 2-0 is.
This is the best video I can find. This is in Shanghai. I thought it was Vegas. This is Shanghai's
Wow.
drone show.
The Dragon. That is amazing.
How do they do that?
So you're saying they're all there and it's just a pattern of when they light up. It's
Yes.
not, drones are not moving. All the drones are,
Now that's all
that's an
drones.
illusion,
Yep,
right?
it's all drones. They might have 1,000 of them, but they're just sitting there in a pattern that's going to work for them. I mean, up top they probably have like a square up here, but if he interacts with this, they're connected. So
Oh. So that's not going to come out through the circle, is it? Because there are drones in the circle.
no, they're just changing colors.
Oh.
There are drones sitting right here doing nothing.
Right, so it's an
until he
optical
comes up
illusion.
here, then that'll work.
That's not drones moving in that pattern. They're
Oh,
just,
they don't
they're all
move.
there. They're lit up. They just changed the way how they're lit up, right? Is that
That's
what I'm
the way it was
understanding?
explained to me. Yeah.
That makes much more sense because I was like, man, somebody's out of formation. They're clipping everybody, and the whole thing's going down.
Well, I'm even amazed at the flyovers, how they keep it together and not.
Well, they're going to go. They're going to move towards this because it's a fixed cost. Once you buy the drones, there's no bangs, so the dogs don't get mad.
That would be lovely.
So
My dog really had a hard time.
I think you're going to see fireworks migrate to drones.
And not as dangerous. And you're not, weather I don't suppose makes that much, not like fireworks. If it's raining, it's,
Well,
Although
rain
it's-
spoils everything. Electronics don't like rain.
oh, okay. Then they're not waterproof.
Correctamundo. Because they all have 4 propellers.
I Boy, that's amazing. They must be minute.
They could be big, they could be small, yeah.
Well,
All
you've
different.
been doing drones for
Yeah. And
beginning.
I have a small drone now, can fit in the palm of your hand. It's just amazing what the
Really?
stuff can do, yeah. It's amazing. And how fast it can go, how high it can go, and how far away it can go.
And what do you do with that drone?
Take
Mostly
pictures
video.
of City Hall.
No kidding.
Mostly video, yeah.
He likes to fly over City Hall and make sure the clock's working.
Yeah. But it's a hobby just to play with the drone. Some of my friends, they like me to do their building if they're going to sell it. So I'll make a drone
Nice. Okay.
of their building,
All right, that makes sense.
of their property. And
Did they have a meeting last night? They must have. Because they didn't have one last Tuesday, I don't think.
I don't
don't
know. I wasn't home. We went to the Sweetheart Inn last night, Monday Night Dinner Club.
How is that now? Is it still good?
It was, beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, it's an old building, hard to get to, but well worth the trip.
Now, it's somewhere in Drake or going.
Methuen.
Methuen.
Bethune. And it's in the middle of what was a farm a long, long time ago. But they're upgrading, making more parking. They now have an outside patio that's not operating yet, but it's soon to be operating.
Good food.
The food's great, yeah. Food's great, service is great. Good time.
Very good. Good to know. It's always good to know a good place to go and have dinner, I must say. So, what do you think of Maine? Do you think I'm shocked that he's still been up there at all?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's one of those cases, where he had so much support that, now he's just going to dig his heels in. He's going to say, whether everyone abandons him or not. I don't know. But
I'm not sure he's going to step on.
That's what I mean. I think he's going to dig his heels in and he's going to stay in the race and he's going to say, you know what,
He's on a power trip now.
Yeah.
It's gone to his head.
But it's interesting now that some of his big supporters from that are big names in this region that were behind him are now kind of backing off. And I always think like, okay, did you really know him or did you just back him because of the letter that was behind his name? How much, if I'm going to put my name behind somebody, I would like to kind of have a sense of where they were going, what they're doing. Like for people to say they didn't know he had that tattoo or he didn't know what the tattoo meant or other things, like those were not things that were super hard to find. Obviously the woman coming out now, that might have been a little harder to unsurface that.
Except this came out early. It came out and...
But he's been in the race for a little while, so
Yeah.
that, I mean, you know what I mean, but little things, but there were obvious red flags from the beginning, like some of the things he said, his tattoo and stuff, and other people were like, no, we can forgive that.
Yeah. Well, my favorite is Liz Warren saying, my kind of guy.
Yes, and now all of a sudden she's had to say, well, maybe he should step out of the race.
Yeah.
And it was like,
So, why, I agree with you, and when you're in a position that you're representing the party and you've been there a long time, so people looking supposedly to you for guidance, not a good look.
correct. So,
On either side.
Right. What did you really know about him other than the party affiliation?
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is, there's, both sides get caught in that from time to time.
Yes, they do.
But,
It's just,
Certainly.
things have fallen a bit short on that one, so that's going to be kind of an
Yes.
interesting. In the state, now, we have a primary, the first week in September. There's a Republican, pretty good race. Sam will be here, he doesn't have anybody in the primary. Maura Healy doesn't have anybody running against her, does she? In the primary?
I don't believe so.
There was no city council meeting last night. It was an
Ah.
off week. That's from
I
Gene Balkers. Thank you, Gene. In the background, that's Mark Kratman and company, the Tewksbury 4th of
Ah.
July
Well done, Mark.
Video they made, so.
Oz looks like it's flourishing. Oh, look at that. Isn't that adorable?
They had a fun day.
There's Mark. He's looking good.
Yep. He makes things happen in the land of Oz.
He really does. It's amazing. It's a good example.
Pie eating contest.
Watermelon.
Such
How
an
cute is that with the
American
kids? That's great. Good stuff.
Town manager. I don't know who the gal is, but.
Well, we don't have anything till our block party at the end of the summer, so.
Well, there's a summer concert series at
Oh,
Iron
right.
Park.
Have you been to any of them?
I have not been to any. I think I was away the first one or two that.
Big crowds.
But I know they were highly successful last year. So.
And I know in that park, I go by at least once or twice a day. And there are people there all the time. Even in the rain, they're there with their umbrellas walking. I mean, it's very well utilized. So I'm impressed that they,
Yeah.
it's nice to see them actually, but obviously a lot of work goes into it.
Yes. Yeah. So I think the summer concert series is.
Do you know if we're going to have another, are we going to have a special town meeting? And that's usually on the fire. I don't think they're letting it go. And it doesn't seem like they're...
There's a survey out there. I have expressed a few concerns about the survey to the town manager, but I think the plan is to be back at a fall town meeting. Although there are several selectmen that ran on the record of they would not bring things like that up at a fall special town meeting. We'll see whether that.
Good morning. The Democratic leaders in this state should be called out for ignoring the truth about a candidate who is not qualified to be in office. Well, he does sound like a sort of scary guy, with a bad temper and some other personal issues.
How would you know? How would you know?
Well,
When lying is legal, they run away from microphones. How would you know the truth about anybody? The only reason he's answering to this stuff is because his girlfriend's up at the podium saying, he did this and he did that.
Well, he had questions. I mean, there was questionable thing. He has this.
The Nazi thing, he's just a plain dummy. But we all know people from Maine, and they're famous for that.
I mean, I don't understand how you just put a symbol you don't know what means permanently on your body.
Over your heart.
Like
it wasn't
how-
on his arm or his leg. Or,
I'm just glad the guy has all his teeth. I mean, my friends are proud to call themselves maniacs.
yeah.
I mean, not all of
Those
them.
are the down easters, though, John.
There's a degree of them. I mean, how much respect do you have for Paul? How much respect do you have for Lori Trahan?
Well, she's not a criminal. She doesn't get into
but how
punch-ups
much
and things like
respect do you
that.
have for her?
Well, I don't think most of them have
So
have anything to hang their hat on.
Why should we be surprised when we have a circus clown that wants to be elected?
My only issue is that there's well-established people in the party that are, again, always mentioned when it's potential people running. I mean, Bernie Sanders, look how far he got in his presidential.
Yeah.
Willingly endorsed this guy, clearly not knowing he was not a stable individual. And now all of a sudden you backtrack. Well, why? What did you?
Well, I can't
What
believe...
did you determine was an okay thing for you to endorse him? That now all of a sudden you can't run away from him fast enough, and he has to drop out of the race. And he's like, "Yeah, nope,
I don't think they...
not doing it."
Yeah, I don't think that they... I think it was just a party thing. And I don't think that... they had to have known he was a loose cannon. I don't think they thought Maine was going to get that much publicity. They thought he was going to go under the radar. And once he got a little taste of some publicity and notoriety, he just was very full of himself.
Well,
He thought he was the real deal.
One of the girlfriends had a connection to CNN, and she polarized it. That's what you get on CNN. It's like you're on the local radio station babbling about your boyfriend did this, your boyfriend did
well,
that.
that might have been the crack in the foundation, but there were so many things with this guy.
Well, how long do you, we're all adults here. How long do you wait before you report this?
Oh, well, on that, that's a very personal thing. And people don't take you seriously. Restraining orders are useless, John. Useless. I'm not sure I would even bother. It's a terrible thing to say, because what are they going to do? If somebody is crazy, they're going to hurt you regardless. Particularly men in that situation. No. I can see where a woman would report that. The notoriety, the publicity, they're embarrassed. Sexual things, people are very embarrassed.
Because the only reason they're getting embarrassed is it's getting public attention.
No.
It's on the TV set.
Well, guys brush it off. I go, he's just being a guy. But women, it's very personal, John.
I just think people don't, as much as they're, it's in your face in movies and advertising, people still don't like to talk about, for the most part, what happens in the privacy of their own home, and especially the privacy of their bedroom. Like, that still is just, I think, for a lot of people.
This was a good one, because the media is being led around by, they're told what to report and what not to report.
Yeah.
And where's the media? They are doing the country a disservice to citizens of this country. Shame on the local and mainstream media. Okay, understood.
Yeah, I think that women, we all think, oh, it's not going to happen to us. I'm a strong woman. I can handle myself, and for the most part, we do. But, I'm sorry. I can't match a man's brute strength. And that's a hard thing to swallow sometimes and admit. And particularly if somebody's drinking, I can see where it could happen, and it's you don't want to. It's not something that you're proud of, and you're embarrassed. You're more embarrassed. And then what? What's the point, John? So you go and you say, he raped me last night. Well, you let him in the house. You were dating him. What's wrong with you? That's what they're going to blame her and say, you must have let him on. You really wanted him to come.
Why wait 5 years?
Well, perhaps she knew a lot about him. I think all these women knew a lot about him.
Here's the thing, ranking down the media here. CNN ignored a president who was not mentally fit for the job, and then lied to the public about it. Good point.
Why wait 5 years? It might have just been seeing his name and the fact that he was all of a sudden had the chance to win, that somebody either A, was, triggered by seeing that and whatever, or thought, what? Maybe if he just quietly left and went into the background, let it go. Is that somebody you want representing? Is I think what she's come out and said. Like, this is the type of person he is. Is this who we want?
Well, but Hillary, we have a media that won't ask them, okay, if you don't provide what you're promising within 12 months of your sitting in office, will you resign?
Well, no, because
okay, they promise you, I'll give everybody $1 million for their bank account. They're all going to get $1 million. I get elected and I just go like, just kidding. You fools, I was just kidding.
But don't they have to have any character at all? Don't you expect? I expect them to, be on the take. I expect them all to become millionaires now. It didn't used to be that way, but they, everybody that goes to Congress becomes a millionaire. Automatic inside trading, all kinds of things. But as far as judgment calls and character, I may not like a person, but I like to think most of them have a decent character.
I just think until he got a little bit of limelight, she probably just didn't want, because again, like you said, she's going to be questioned, what was your role in this and why were you silent? And she's going to have to answer a lot of questions. And she thought, if I could just let him, go into the background, then fine. But now that he's chosen to be very public, she's saying, hey, I think you should question his judgment. And maybe he's not the person he appears to be.
What politician is?
No, but
none of them are, but that's,
yeah,
That's
but
why
they're
I'm
not
saying
all
she's
raping
pushing.
people, John, I would hope. They're not all,
Well, look what happened to Trump.
with what?
Trump. He got convicted of all kinds of scandalous things involving women.
Yes, and isn't that interesting? They brought charges against him and everything else. This guy, they wanted to make him a senator. They were so proud of him, the Democrats. Shame on them. You know what? If you're going to go on some kind of soapbox and be holier than thou, then you better bloody be holier than thou, and don't live in a glass house.
Good point.
yeah.
Hard to take you seriously. So, anyway. Well, we'll see. I kind of agree with you. I think it's I'm not sure he's he's kind of enjoying this, and when else is he going to get, and he's
I mean, what does he have to lose at this point? You
Yeah.
know, he got the endorsement, he got the fame. There's going to be some people that are just, like I said, he's going to dig his heels and he's not dropping out of the race. That's my take on the
I
little
wouldn't
I've
drop
watched
out.
of him.
Would you drop out?
And then if he gets elected, all will be forgiven. They'll all say, "Isn't he wonderful?"
Well, they want, it's all about winning the majority back.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren, Rebecca, you were always my man.
I told you to drop
that-
out, but I didn't really mean it. I'm glad you didn't.
So just don't get in a car with him. Or,
Now, how about New York City? They're fixing a skyscraper and it's falling down.
Oh, my
Holy
God.
muckmire.
what's going on with that
They
coating?
supposedly got it evacuated and fixed.
It's a big building.
That it's right. It's
A lot of investment there.
but thank God.
That's why they're trying to save the doggone thing.
Well,
But I wouldn't want, would you buy a condo in that building?
oh my, no, I don't think I'd even want to be walking near it.
Yeah, I don't want to be around that block.
I think I'll avoid New York for a while.
Well, it also makes you wonder, they say like, they were able to go in and fix it and now it's secure. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it takes months and sometimes years to get, certain infrastructure fixed. All of a sudden that's fixed in less than 24 hours and it's safe.
But how many times we've all been on planes when they said there's a little delay and they're welding your wing back onto something, and we just go, oh, okay.
Well, I got a kick out. We just have a simple light bulb issue. Like the engine's broken. That the light bulb that the engine's broken's on.
Yes, they're all connected somehow.
I still hold my breath when I go through the tunnel because I was right before when the first leaks in the tunnel, I was in it like moments before it crashed down. So every time I go through the tunnel, I still have a little bit of PTSD.
Oh, I think.
And I'm always like, okay, is that water running? Is that safe water? When is this coming down?
Yeah.
But, yes. You always question.
Well,
This is Lowe's
the big deal.
Lasher Ballpark on 4th of July night. And I think Lowe's got to rethink their 4th of July idea. Because the place has got plenty of room. And I just think that shooting the fireworks off from the river level, I think we should turn the page on that and find a higher point to shoot our fireworks out from.
Well, it seemed like a good idea. I mean, this heat, this weather it's broken all kinds of records. It's never happened, since 1919 or something, that anything close to it. So it's kind of hard to, throw the baby out with the bathwater and say, well, we're not going to do that anymore.
I saw the mayor did some live streaming of it. It looked like a good time.
Not all senators are out of touch. Everyone thought Senator Fetterman was brain dead, and he is the most sane one in the party. Who would have thought? When he first came out. But again, it wasn't. He was eccentric. He wasn't criminal. Big difference.
Yes.
Elon Musk is eccentric. He's not criminal.
Well, he hasn't been arrested for any of this stuff. What do you do? Again, I wouldn't drop out of the race. At this stage, I wouldn't. Okay, now you know everything about me.
Not necessarily. He kept saying that. When the tattoo, he said, "Oh no, nothing else." Then the first woman that came out, "Oh no, that's the end of it." Every 2 weeks, something else comes out, so we're not sure that is the end of it.
Well, maybe he did hold the window open for Lee Harvey Oswald.
Well, it just,
I don't, whether he drops out or not.
looks like a duck, walks like a duck.
The bottom line is, don't vote for him.
Yeah.
If you question his judgment, don't vote for him. I'm not saying he necessarily should drop out of the race. I think he's digging his heels in. He got some early endorsements from people that, kind of propelled him into the spotlight that he's in. And so now he's not going to get out. But, for heaven's sakes, if you're questioning what else is coming down the pike or you have some concerns, just don't vote for him. I don't understand why people say, well, I voted for him thinking another outcome was going to happen. I didn't think he would be that bad. Or I
have friends that'll say, well, we think he learned his lesson.
I think it's the old adage that some people are party people. They're Democrats or they're Republicans. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It could be an axe murderer, and they're going to vote for the party because they'll come up with some excuse why they're voting.
They take their
He
vote
was
by
misunderstood. He had a bad childhood.
My party leader said, vote for him, I'm voting for him.
Yeah.
Right?
I got a text right here. And that's how they get these support is they tell the government employees, this guy wants to take your pension away. This guy wants to take some of your privileges away.
Yeah.
And you're going to vote your pocketbook every time.
I know. Discouraging. But I think a lot of that has changed, and I think you're beginning to, when you listen to some of the people that are successful, they talk about. In fact, Fetterman, I had seen a quote on the unenrolled and how important the unenrolled, and that's where the people are in America today. And you've said that all along, John, that the unenrolled are the most influential group in the country.
And most
and they
ignored.
should be.
Most ignored, and they cannot get elected. I mean, Joe Espinola, God bless him, good luck to him. I hope he's successful. It'll be a first. When he gets elected, that'll be on CNN and Fox.
Lieberman was an independent, and he did pretty well from Connecticut. That's the only one I'm aware of.
But he was a Democrat for a long, long time.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I think there's so much money in
That's what it's about.
In party politics these days that it's not about the ideals that you embrace. It's about where the money's going to flow from. And so that's what I think makes it very hard. It's not that people don't agree with the independent stance. They know that, to get anything done, you need the money. And again, to even get, staff or not be in the, converted janitor's closet in town hall for your office, that's, you have to be attached to a party.
It's all about the money. It's ridiculous what it costs to run campaigns now. Even locally.
Once you get elected, with each chairmanship comes, a stipend or each, thing, money for your office, money for your staff. It all flows through who, the head of the branch. So if it's a Democrat who's, chair of the Senate president or chair of the House, that's where the money comes through.
Well, and at the end of the day, when you do get elected, everybody expects you to sponsor their Little League team, their football team, their Girl Scout, everything. They expect a lot from, well, I don't know where they think the money comes from, particularly locally, but they do expect a lot from anybody that's in a position, an elected position. And once you say yes to one of them, you're doomed.
Well, you play, I am so accessible during your campaign.
Well, you should be, yes, but that doesn't mean you have deep pockets, John.
And you should say, this is my campaign cell phone number. I'm throwing it away as soon as I'm elected.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. No, that's no. But I just don't think that. I think they should be there for the public to reach them. But I don't know. You know, there's a path beaten to your door the minute you're elected.
Some elected officials have, surprisingly been able to avoid any type of contact once elected.
Yeah. Yes. Well, of course, there's always a few.
Once they get your cell phone number, they just keep calling you and calling you and calling you.
Yeah, but what difference does it make if they don't answer?
The voicemail box is full.
Yeah.
It doesn't even say that now. I think like Verizon or whoever got the hint that because now it just says, thank you for calling, and it hangs up on you. Like it's not even you've reached a voicemail box. It's not anything. It's like, thank you for calling. Blip.
I don't understand how anyone that is in office doesn't at least have that you can reach them. That's not asking a lot. Why are you running then? I don't.
The money.
No, John. I think, I can understand for Congress now because you're going to become a millionaire.
The ego trip.
In the Massachusetts, you only have to serve a short period of time, and you have a pension for life.
Yeah, that's true.
How long you got to serve to get a pension?
I thought they changed it to like something. It used to be you only had to just be sworn in and you got your pension. But now I think there is. I don't know.
I'll ask Google.
I wouldn't think, because it used to be, you're absolutely right. I remember that was a big issue with the insurances, because whether they were a selectman for 6 months or a year, then they had access to town insurance forever.
Well, it should be, the perk is either in your position or it's not. And city councilors always had health insurance until Bernie Lynch came along and said, that's against the law.
And that sort of went viral all in the area. And then that's when all the school committees, everybody.
Well, then it became, you didn't get it by being elected, you got it by getting a salary. So we ended up paying
Yes, that's
an
right.
assessor like $1 so that he could continue to get his health insurance.
Or whatever when they raised that and they said it had to be a certain amount, they just made the office pay that much. It's not just don't vote for him, it's the lying and blaming the other side for their missteps. They lied on a daily basis about President Biden. Don't trust the Democrats.
Okay,
I don't trust the media.
You can't trust the leadership of either party. My Democratic friends are truthful, and they tell me right up front. I get a text, John. I get a text that tells me who I should vote for or who shouldn't vote for. I get a text, and the guys that really lean in, have blue underwear, are active, and they're told, go on Facebook, find this post, and stick up for the guy. They got the Democrats have a fantastic machine, and I always make fun of the Republicans because they have beautiful horses, nice uniforms, beautiful silver swords, but they're going to lose every time. Democrats have a tank.
Well, that goes up and down.
In Massachusetts?
Well, Massachusetts, I mean, it's an embarrassment. It's embarrassing. I mean, Liz Warren now is the laughingstock of the country. She was when she went for the beer. That was the first time that I think people realize how ridiculous she is. But she's still there. They keep voting for her. I don't know why. I don't know what she's done.
The party elects her. When you look at how many people vote.
Who is the party now? Because I was a Democrat years ago. Most of the people I know were Democrats years ago. What is the party now?
I'm wondering too if it's not so much who is voting for her versus who is just not voting, right? So,
yeah.
You having like counted ballots for a number of years, if people don't, people leave a lot of blanks. There's a lot of blank people will go in and vote. Oh, I want to go in and just vote for Linda today. So I'm going to pull a ballot. There's 10 other races on it, but I know nothing about them. I care nothing about them.
My text says vote for Linda.
Yeah.
So
that's all
I
you
just
do.
go in and vote for Linda's. So I'm just curious because I don't think they ever, they show the margin of winning by who voted for them versus who voted for somebody else. They don't really ever tell you how many of those were blank. Who went in and just wanted to vote, if she's on the ballot with, another race, they only voted that race.
Term limits are never going to happen, but would politics be as popular if there were term limits?
Well,
Ironically, in Missouri, their House and Senate have term limits in Missouri.
yeah, some of the states do. I think that's not a bad
Yeah.
thing.
Well, you see, we're seeing,
And it's short term. I mean, it's like 2 or 3 terms, and then you're out.
but right now with President Trump, we're seeing 3 years of a lame duck. He's a lame duck. He's going to do as he pleases for the next 3 years. He's over at Turkey saying, I want Denmark. Mark my words, I want Denmark. And he told all the European leaders, I want Denmark.
Well, I have to say, I don't spend my whole day wondering what he's going to do.
It's always a surprise.
Just, but the Republicans had when they had the Tea Party, and it was very extreme. Parties go through that, and then they come back.
And I do think that's, there's a lot of Republicans that are in Congress who are that very, very extreme, that don't represent the main
Yeah.
stream of the party, but for some reason they've got the power.
And again, I think you're right. You hit the nail on the head. People just they have other things that's not their priority. Their kids or their job or their family or their car or their house. Or there are too many things that are much and should be more important. But they don't even know history. They don't even teach history. When they stopped teaching civics and so that people understood why they should be involved. There's you want to be part of a community, and they don't instill that in people. They don't instill it in children anymore. I'm just always embarrassed when
They don't teach cursive writing.
No.
The only cursive letters you have to know is your name.
I wanted to teach personal finance.
Lowell City Council is full of people who work in government, so until that changes, the machine will keep going. Yeah. I think, but I think we don't have a real concept of the United States.
Hey, Lynn, I'm not hearing you no more.
Huh?
I'm not hearing you no more.
You're not hearing me anymore?
No.
She's
Grab the
lit up.
microphone to your left.
It isn't blinking or doing anything.
That's
No?
okay.
No?
I'm just not hearing you.
Okay, we'll put that away and we'll. How would I know, John?
Well, you wouldn't. Okay, that's all better.
Well, it's nice that you told me.
It's all better. I can hear you now.
So now I've lost my entire train of thought, John.
Well, we can ask a nice food question.
Sure.
At a cookout, what would you put on your plate? Anything you can think of is at the cookout. What are you going to put on the plate?
Well,
While you're thinking about that, I'm going to hit on Hillary. Me, I'm going to put potato salad, hot dog, a cheeseburger. If they have kielbasa, I'll put kielbasa. Egg salad. Now, I'll probably go back for seconds. How about you, Linda?
I'm a salad person. Because lettuce. I love lettuce.
So you
Lettuce goes with everything.
You're just going to have a lettuce.
Tonight.
That's it.
Yeah.
No hot dog for you. No
Well,
cheeseburger.
I'll have. But it depends how they're cooking it, and
Well, how do you
I
prefer?
mean, in the summer everybody has a hot dog, of course. A hot
How
dog
do you
in the summer.
prefer your hot dog be cooked?
Well, I like it grilled. I prefer if I had my choice on charcoal.
Charcoal grilled hot dog.
Yeah, the
Okay.
best.
And how about a hamburger?
Same thing. It just gives a better flavor.
Okay.
I know it's tedious, and I know it's a lot of work, and there's a little small window to cook it, but
I haven't noticed the difference, but so Hillary, how do you, what are you putting on your plate? Just lettuce?
No. I
love
do
lettuce.
like a good grilled hamburger or hot dog.
Does it have to be charcoal grilled?
No, I'm not as picky about that. But I like, I like potato salad. But I'm a little picky on the potato salad. I don't like it. I like just a little bit of mayonnaise in it.
Yeah,
Some
I
people
agree- I
over
agree with
mayonnaise. I do like that, like celery, onion, like crunch in it.
Yeah.
Um,
but don't junk it up. Everybody wants to
yeah, I don't need
too
like
much
25,
stuff and
yeah.
everything now.
Yeah, just very basic. But
Well, in the hot dogs, I like the ones with the skin.
Yeah.
I like a good ballpark. Nathan's hot dogs. That's what I tend to buy. Nathan's or ballpark.
They're skin.
Kayam.
They're skin. Kayam with the skin. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I love it.
I did happen
Beef.
to. I did
Beef. I made the mistake of
unknowingly,
not having
yes,
beef, yeah.
unknowingly bought Nathan's hot dogs, and so we did cook those right after we watched Joey Chestnut eat, 60 some odd of them.
Oh, I know.
was gonna-
I-
Every year I'm like, where do they go? Like, how do they eat that?
It can't be good for you. I wonder if
Lot
they
of-
fall up in
lot-
these people. Do they have a long life?
Purging.
Yeah, that's true. It can't be good. So, but yeah, as far as cookouts, I think a hot dog. Hamburgers are great, but hot dogs are the best, and a good one. I've made
Nobody
the
said
mistake.
lobster. I'm surprised.
I mean, well, I was gonna say, like, if given the choice, I like a grilled steak, but I was thinking we were limited to hamburger and hot dog.
Yeah.
No, anything you want at this cookout.
I have not had a lobster roll this summer yet.
Oh, I have.
I need to go get
So
one
having
somewhere.
the schools teach personal finance is a big swing and a miss. No, it's not. They can't even manage the money they get from their own. Well, because they don't understand personal finance. They just pass that. They just pass the budget. Moving right along, kielbasa on the grill with homemade cocktail sauce is a great summer meal on the grill. That's from Jay.
That's true. It is. It gives it a whole different flavor. Do you keep your grill going in the winter? Are you able to cook outside in the winter?
We do not as much. I mean, it takes depending on the temperature, it just takes
Well,
a lot
that's
of
just
gas
it. Going
to
out in the yeah.
heat, like to get the heat to stay up. Like you finally get it warmed up and you open it up and it drops back down and then it takes forever. So I mean, we do if we can get to it and it's not freezing. I think once it gets below freezing, you take a tank of gas to cook.
Yeah.
Something. It's
Oh, I think Sam is here.
so I don't know.
He's trying to figure out the lights in the bathroom.
I think one of the problems with the winter, unfortunately, is that you're right. The wind and it just you got to get to it. You have to go out. You have to get all dressed up to go out and cook on the grill. So
We had to take our grill off the house. The insurance company sent us a terse letter.
oh really?
You cannot have a grill on the house. And I wrote them back. It's an appliance. It's piped in gas to the grill.
Yeah.
They wrote back, good for you. It must be removed. So I wrote back, how about if I get an electric one? It's forbidden.
Really?
Your insurance company's digging their heels in with you.
Yep. Well, it's just because I bite back. So I
You're
called
kidding.
There's so many people that have their gas grills attached to their gas on their house now. I don't. I still
No,
have
I
a tank,
don't.
but
Well, it was on the back porch. They didn't like it being on a covered back porch.
mine's on a
How did
patio.
they know?
Next. Did they swing by the house?
Probably satellite pictures.
You're kidding
Sam,
me.
just go sit.
Oh, hey Sam.
Yeah.
So I called my agent and I talked to Paul Bullock and I
Don't you look
talked.
spiffy?
I talked to them and I said, "Can we find somebody else?" And they looked around and said, "Nope, can't."
So the what?
So no No grill.
So did you have to remove it all to get, like,
Yep.
you just said, I'm not grilling
I'm not
anymore,
sure
I'm all
which one
done?
is working.
Yep. No, I didn't grill anyway. My wife did.
So she moved it to another location?
No, we got rid of it.
Oh,
Because this house is high up off the ground. So to get down to ground level,
oh.
I think it's 8 steps down. He says it's going to be, so to flip hamburgers, I got to go outside, down 8 steps, back up 8 steps. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Well, I've never heard anybody have that issue.
I haven't either, because I know a lot of people that have their grills on their deck.
They removed the grill from his house here.
What?
His insurance company.
Insurance company wouldn't insure the property as long as I had a grill on the porch.
I do know you're not supposed to have them on the deck. I do think that's a rule. Now, again, who walks around and enforces that? Nobody that I know of other than that. until
No.
now.
I understand an apartment, and
Right.
in condos where, but there may be a safety issue.
Association rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
HOA
But I do
rules,
think
but-
I have heard that you are not allowed to have them on your deck. Well, I know people that do, so.
Well, I remember Jim Peters I learned something that he had a fire from I think it was his grill, he had an extension cord, a live extension cord plugged in, and it caught on fire.
I mean, I will admit I've had a fire or two in my grill. They don't seem to like you grill the Cape Cod pizzas, even though they say they're meant to be grilled. They're really a little too greasy. I remember, I was a little close to the house. I thought, ooh, but I didn't catch my house on fire. But I can see why they say they shouldn't be on the deck and should be so many feet back from the house. But I'm shocked that they dug their heels in and weren't going to insure you. That's a little rude.
This is a very good point. The worst thing you can do on the grill is to use a steel brush.
Yeah.
Absolutely, positively true.
Yes.
Because how do you know all those little bristles are gone?
Very bad.
Not a good idea. So
They've all been watching those commercials,
What
the
I-
firemen.
Yeah.
Fireman.
I used to take the grill apart. It was each deck had 2 pieces. Put them in the dishwasher. They do a fantastic job in the dishwasher.
Hopefully you cleaned that little thing inside your dishwasher. I remember we had that conversation one time, the drain inside
yeah.
your dishwasher.
Yep, clean that thing and
Well, the best thing to do to clean the grill would be do it while it's hot. After you stop using it, don't let it
Yes.
cool down. And what I typically use, onion, a lemon, a lime, just grease it up, and then
Oh, wow.
you get rid of all the grease and everything.
Yeah.
And once in a while, or maybe a month, I look at underneath the grill because it collects all the greases and everything. So you need to empty that out. It's important.
well, if mine never gets caked on, so it's never caked on. So I just spray it with Dawn, put it in the dishwasher, and put it back out on the grill.
Oh wow.
Except for now, you're not enjoying the benefits of a grill anymore.
Happy wife, happy life.
I like your use of lemons. I go through a bag of lemons a week, just about.
No, I use them. It seems to work for me, at least while the grill is hot, warm,
Yeah.
Not hot, but still warm enough
Yeah.
that you can,
Yeah.
They do say you're supposed to clean it while it's warm.
Yeah. mhm.
Yeah. So, Sam, how's it going?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a fabulous week.
Yeah.
It hasn't been as hot as the July 4th weekend.
The Democrats are embarrassing the daylights out of themselves. So you got to be happy.
Oh, yeah. And last week we had gubernatorial candidate Mike McDonough came to Lowell.
Yep.
He went to all these small businesses in downtown and in the Cambodian town. So I was very elated that he was able to come and tour the city
Yeah.
and talk to all the business owners and all the potential voters out there. So it's been a great week for me so far. So I'm very
Good turnout?
Very good turnout, and all the business people who support whom he spoke to are very supportive of his candidacy. He visited the low transitional living.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it? The shelter. We had a very informative tour. I've never been inside myself, so in all honesty, I learned so much in that 1 hour tour. Then I had to learn about the shelter all of my life and
Yeah.
living, in the area and living in Lowell. So, yeah, so it was a good thing because I wanted Mike to know, what is going on in the city, how the city is dealing with the homeless issue, the people who are addicted to the drugs and everything, and how those issues, homelessness and addictions are affecting the business. So I purposely scheduled a visit to Lou's Deli because it's on Middlesex Street, and Lou's Deli had been experiencing a lot of issues that had as a result of homelessness. Just about 3 months ago, one of the windows were broken by one of the lady who was high on some sort of substance. She threw a brick, and I believe this is the third time that happened to Lou's Deli. And each and every time they had to replace those windows. It cost about between $2,500 to about $4,000, depending on when you can get the repairman to come and get the insurance to do it.
Time is short, Sam. I'm going to hold you there for a minute. Going to run this video during the break. How about fried turkey in oil? Way too dangerous.
No.
Way too dangerous. It's delicious, but way too dangerous.
I've never tried that before.
No.
My
you
neighbor
would
does
recommend
it.
no?
My neighbor does it.
Yeah?
Grease and fire are not a good
The
combination.
turkey's dry. I think turkeys are too dry.
We're going to go to break land, and we'll be back.
Okay.
Sure.
You can't stuff them.
We should have some sound here. I don't know what's going on. Let me reset this video.
No, Mike doesn't have it. That's
Maybe
why
the
I
sound
want
for the second time.
him to come and see and speak to to.
So we got no video,
And
got no
clean.
audio, but this is the Tewksbury celebration of 4th of July. It's about 2 minutes long. We'll be back soon.
To celebrate our 250th anniversary of our country. We're so lucky to be here. Thank you so much.
And again, I just want to thank Mark Grabman for putting this event together every year. I know it's a lot of work, but seeing the crowd today, that it really paid off. And
Hello,
everyone have a
Thank you for
safe
coming
and happy
down to the
4th.
Tewksbury
Thank you again,
4th of
Mark.
July celebration.
Everybody enjoy
This
this
is our
4th of July.
country's
Have a great
250th
holiday
anniversary.
weekend. And we're down here to celebrate and enjoy all our freedoms that we get each year. We probably have about 250, 300 residents down enjoying free ice cream, free food, and we're having a great celebration. The kids are having a great time. The weather's excellent, and we're just glad everybody could come down and enjoy it.
Yeah, this is a great event. This is my second year, and I'm going to keep coming back because it's so much fun. I brought my daughter today, Maeve. She didn't know it was going to be so hot, but it's a beautiful event, and I love watching all the kids eat all these things, all the pie and the watermelon.
We're having a great day to celebrate our 250th anniversary of our country. We're so lucky to be here. Thank you so much.
And again, I just want to thank Mark Grabman for putting this event together every year. I know it's a lot of work, but seeing the crowd today, that it really paid off. And everyone have a safe and happy 4th. Thank you again, Mark.
Everybody enjoy their 4th of July. Have a great holiday weekend. Be safe and stay hydrated. Thank you.
Is there anything you want to make sure we talk about that they tell Linda? Here we go.
Welcome back to City Life. I'm Linda Bown. I'm your host. I have Sam Meas with me. He's running for state senator. And, of course, Hillari Wennerstrom, who was a former select woman and school committee woman. Sam, we were talking off air about the shelter. And that Mike came, and he brought him there specifically. It's a horrible issue. The whole homeless issue, and it's you start to talk about the addiction, and it isn't just a homeless issue, and it's multifaceted. You can't put the addicts in with the mentally ill.
Correct. What I learned when I visited the shelter with Mr. Mahoney is that there are two groups of people who are, being assisted or supported by the shelter. One would be those people who are on fixed and limited income, and because of the rising cost of rent in our city, in our area, they cannot afford rent at all. I mean, affordability is not even a question for them. I mean, when you are on disability or Social Security and only getting $1,000 or $800 a month, and the average rent, one bedroom rent in Low is like $1,500, they cannot afford that, and therefore they resort.
Sam, are you talking about the people who are laying on the street down by Hafner's?
I'm sorry.
Are you talking about the people who are laying on the street down by
No, not
Hafner's?
yet. No, those are those people who are addicted to some sort of substance. But the people
You could give those people a house. And California's having a problem with those people right now because they give them a little house. And the first thing they do is they sell a microwave that's in there. Then they try to dismantle the toilet and sell that.
Well, I think what you're saying is there are these two classes of people, right?
Right.
We think of the homeless or the people that are in the shelter as drug addicts, which some of them are, but there is a group of them that just are homeless because they can't afford
Correct.
anywhere else to go.
Yeah, that's what I learned from that visit. I mean, of course, there's people who are drug addicts who refuse to get the treatment, refuse to get into some sort of a counseling
But they still
program.
get their check.
They do. Unfortunately, we live
That's
in
the government's
in Massachusetts.
wrongdoing. The government is
Exactly.
subsidizing that lifestyle.
Right. And, I'm hopeful that future governors, hopefully Mr. Mahoney, would be able to implement some sort of program whereby we will be, requiring, we have to have a law passed in the state legislature to do that, to get these people who are addicted to substance to get into a formal setting. A living area that they can both be treated for their drug addiction as well as counseling at the same time. And that's the only way to remedy the issue. What we have currently in the city of Low, it's unsustainable. You can't continue that because as much as we don't want to admit it, the city of Low we have a lot of NGO who are supporting all these non-profit with noble purpose, with noble purpose, but effectively they're encouraging the lifestyle. They're encouraging people to come to the city of Low and live off what they have to offer. There are people who are being shipped, put on a train, put on a bus, put on a taxi to come to the city of Low, and as a city, we just, no matter the amount of services, the number of non-profit agencies in the area, cannot service this at all, and we more or less encouraging the problem, encouraging people to come and continue to have all of these problems, and like Hillary has stated that we have two classes of people living in the shelter on the Middlesex City. You have those people who are truly homeless because of they cannot afford the rent in our city, and there are those people who are addicted who can come in and clean themselves and try as much as they can to get counseling, to get everything. But when you don't have a formal setting whereby you can encourage them to stay clean and then supervise, I wouldn't say 24/7, but at least supervise it to the extent as possible. The current situation is that those people who are clean, who abide by the rules of the shelter, can come in and stay at night, sleep in the shelter, but by a certain time during the day they have to leave, and that's where the problem will continue, because they continue to congregate and befriend with people who are addicted to substance or where substance drugs are freely available to them on the street, and that's when it's very difficult for them to shake off that addiction.
Well, and we perpetuate it with money. We give them money to feed a habit.
Well, and I think we as a society go round and round about what the right course of treatment was, right? So for a period of time we were saying, it's all about making sure that they're, getting clean needles and getting all these things. And now we're discovering that's just fueling the problem, right? That's not helping the problem. Or we send them to places and think, 30 days is going to all of a sudden remedy anything. When there's so many underlying treatments, or issues, I should say, so many underlying factors that contribute to that. And until we figure out how to address that whole person, we're not going to do it, because there's obviously, beyond the physical addiction and other things, there's a lot.
Correct.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
the physical addiction is real, right? So we know a lot of, say, affluent people who became drug addicts as a result of, the physical problems. It wasn't just a mental or.
You have to start somewhere, and if you're dealing, and let's just start with the addiction. You have to deal with the addiction.
Right.
Nobody
Right.
can be productive if they're addicted. But I think more important than that, and it's very important, but I think we need to do something about the mentally ill. We treat animals better than we treat the mentally ill.
Right. I mean, to a certain extent, the way we treat those with substance abuse with kids' glove, we don't want to, force. I mean, I hate to use that word force, but then again, we have to do something for them, because when you are mentally ill or addicted to substance, you don't think about yourself per
Right.
se.
No.
Your mind is always about the next hit, the next
Right.
high. Therefore, as a society, as much as it might be unpleasant or feeling unpleasant about it, we have to confront the issue, help them by forcing their hand, so to speak, into a formal setting whereby they can get, drug addiction treatment and then counseling all at the same time. And we have to do it for more. It's going to be more than 30 days, right?
Oh, absolutely.
An
Well, and I think
extended
there's
period of
no-
time, so that they have time to shake off their addiction, the chemical in their body, and then for those with mental illness, have time to recoup some sort of medical treatment for them.
Well, and I think we got into the, on some level, and I get it, there's a cost to it, it's not cheap but 30 days, the insurance will cover 30 days or 90 days or whatever, when, not everybody's responds in the same way, or, some people need more than 90 days. So what happens in 90 days? We just turn them loose thinking like, okay, you're healed, you're miraculously healed, like,
yeah.
and they're not, or we send them back to the same environment that they needed to be removed from to begin with. So
Right.
I think there's just a broken system all around, and I don't know. Is forcing people the right thing? No, but
But it
turning a blind eye isn't helping either.
exactly allow
You
them
know.
to freeze and die in the cold in the dead of the winter. It's not the right
Right.
thing either, or in the summer heat. So we have to make very difficult choice.
I'll go back to it. I mean, people are more offended by watching the poor starving little dog than they are about human beings.
Yeah.
It's a reality, and people will always assume, well, they can help themselves. No, they cannot.
No.
And particularly, and we never thought it out when we closed the mental hospitals. And and I agree with you. It's not a short-term solution. It can't be a short-term solution. So let's stop throwing more money at short-term solutions.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you'll save money at the end of the day.
Mhm.
And plus, you'll make people productive.
Yeah.
These people that are addicts, we've all known people, and they were very productive. They had a future,
Mhm.
and they just had a misstep. And we all make mistakes. That just happens to be a very unfortunate misstep, and takes a little more effort than some of the mistakes we've made in life, all of us. And so, I think that once you look at it that way and realize that they're worth saving, let's just not, I think nobody wants to be bothered. Let's just throw money at it, and maybe they'll go away. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Now is, what have they done with the ICC? I know that's a different population of people, but it's officially closed, right?
I don't think so. The
The Inn and Conference Center?
conference center isn't closed.
It's supposed to be closed, I believe. It was
I thought
scheduled
it-
to
I
be
believe
closed.
it's in transition to some mysterious thing now.
I went there last time, and I was trying to video something saying that we had the housing, a lot of the illegal immigrants we are spending, I think at that time was $21 million per year, and then that's just for rent and everything.
Yeah.
And there was this lady came out with this burly man just kicked me out. Yeah, this is private property. You can't film this here. Da 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 da. But I mean, this is our tax dollar here, and I maybe I'll drive by today and find out if it's still
I thought I
open.
read somewhere that it was closed and but nobody can ascertain what's going in there, but, because there's construction vehicles and dumpsters or something.
good.
out front. But what they're doing with it, I'm not sure.
I mean, going back again, I'm not trying to, bringing the homeless issue, the drug addiction issue into a political issue, but then again, it's more like a political football. In our state, the governor has allocated in the fiscal year 2026, we have allocated $259 million for housings and shelter for the illegal immigrant, but yet they have done very little to address the homeless issue. Think about it, $259 million. And I could think of one place where we can use at least $50 million to build a nice treatment center.
Yes.
Tewksbury Hospital. There you go. Plenty of space, plenty of room. We can build new one, refurbish the old one. And that's how we can, transition some of the issue that we have here in the city of Low. And from
Concord Prison.
I was gonna say, what have they done with MCI Concord? I drove by MCI Concord the other day. What's there now?
I don't know. I haven't
The fence is
followed
still up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Nobody seems to be living there.
No.
I mean, that's the thing. So why can't we, from a selfish perspective, as a resident of Low, I want to shift all of these, drug addicts and homeless people to this shelter where they can be, treated for their affliction and have an opportunity to rebuild their lives or save up to, buy something, affordable home or renting some places for themselves. But we cannot just allow them to come here and not, addressing the issue. And no one wants to touch the issue because it's all about compassion. And if, an elected official beginning to propose certain issue, he or she will be just frowned upon. There will be, controversy all over the place, and hence he or she won't get elected. But elected officials in the city have to make those tough choices.
Yeah.
And, you have to revitalize downtown. And you cannot revitalize downtown bringing new business in when we have majority of the tenants are nonprofit agency serving most likely duplicative purposes.
Yeah.
And then we have homeless people running around breaking business. Again, look at Lou's Deli. They don't stay open after 6 o'clock. They just shut down. But imagine they're
shame.
doing a very good business, a brisk business, very good business with all the courts activities
Yeah.
and whatnot. And we could turn that area into a very nice location where people can stay a little longer and enjoy what we have, the downtown has to offer. But so long as we have this homelessness issue, drug addicted people walking around, it's very difficult to bring new business in.
Well, and the social services, the nonprofits, if you build it, they'll come, and you're absolutely right, because you have the nonprofits. It's a catch-22. It just perpetuates itself. The people come for the services. They say, "Oh, this Joe. Oh, yeah, I know. He has Xanax." Or so they just mix and match, and,
Right.
and you've got to addiction. You really need to. It's totally different from as you say, the low-income people that are having issues with just trying to maintain their existence. So you just have to take them out of the situation, and no one has a chance in addiction if you don't do that and take it seriously. And let's stop band-aiding it and saying we're going to throw them in, detox for 30 days. I don't even know if they give them 30 days for
I don't know.
detox.
Or just give them free needle. For me, I oppose giving out free needle
Yes.
from the get-go, from the very beginning, because you don't solve addiction by giving drugs to people. I mean, you just don't. You just don't. It doesn't work that way.
I mean, and I think that, John's point about the houses,
Hillary, I'm not hearing you no more.
You're not hearing me.
So take that mic to your right.
This one didn't come on before.
Right.
There's my old one.
This one comes on.
It's like musical
hear me now?
mics.
You're perfect now, yep.
So, to your point,
Just leave it on its side. Then I know it's dead.
to your point, giving people houses, so we have this whole affordable housing unit and we're giving people houses, but they're, we're not addressing the issue of, it's not always just affordability, right? So there, we see it in the suburbs, and it's probably more prevalent in the city. You have these affordable housing, and then people are not maintaining them.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
then it's becoming, and then it's a breeding ground for
Bad
other
behavior.
behavior. So we're giving, and not all, I'll say not all are that way, but the majority of them. And so, again, we're thinking like, oh, we just need to give them a house and that'll solve it. Or, oh, we just need to give them this and that'll solve it. We're not addressing some of the root problems of why people are in these situations. And I think that's what's unfortunate.
And we don't really need to study it. We know what the problems are. Let's not keep studying it.
No.
Read a book then. There've been many books written on it. I don't think we need to restudy it. Can I ask you something, Sam? Because you're running for Senate. The Lowell is the main city. What in Massachusetts, all the cities have older buildings. What do you do to regenerate and refurbish? Because to make these buildings like downtown Lowell, you have to make them handicap accessible. How do you go into a city? I don't care whether it's Leominster or Lowell or Lawrence.
Which work? Yeah.
That's a huge task.
Mhm.
It isn't like just going to Tewksbury and saying, well, we're going to take that piece of property and we're going to make a mall, we're going to do something. Kind of.
But even
more.
then, some of these old buildings, it's so much more to rehab them,
Yes.
right, than it is. So then we just let them stay in this state of disrepair.
Yeah.
Because in order to do any type of repair, you have to then make it ADA compliant, which I agree with. But in some cases, like how do we, then it becomes affordable and we just let it.
So we're letting
Let it
our
deteriorate.
cities just go.
Yeah. So that Hillary has a great point, because rehabbing this old building and we have to meet all these ADA requirement,
Right.
it makes it much more expensive than it should be. The second issue has to do with the landlord. Most of these empty buildings in downtown Lowell, Fitchburg, Lawrence, or any other former mill city type of entities are owned by people who don't live in the city, and are owned by corporation or LLC. And these corporation LLC have an incentive or disincentive to keep it empty. They can write off taxes, depreciate the property and offset their income from other places, basically. And it's the tax law is much more complicated than we can think. As a tax accountant, I could see, I can understand why people are doing this. After a certain number of years of depreciation, you sell it to a different entity, you create a new entity, that entity create a new depreciation. So there's no incentive for the landlord to really refurbish anything, because at the end of the day, if he or she refurbish or transform that building into a livable area, the return on investment is very low, basically. And if you do that, the cost of refurbishment as well as the requirements, you want to do this, the city of Lowell, the city of Fitchburg, you say you gotta get 1% or 2% to affordable housing, this and that, and at the end of the day, you make no money, and
Right.
there's no incentive for landlord to do anything. So it has to be a collaborative effort, joint effort. You can get all the landlord from who own all these buildings comes together, the city, and talk. There's no magic solution, a silver bullet solution to fix all of these problems. But I think we need to get elected officials in the cities to talk with the landlord to come up with a solution. Now, I understand about ADAs and making all that affordable, but we have to take into consideration this is an older building. It's very
Right.
difficult to install elevators and this and that. But we are talking about the issue of not having housing stock available to people who need it. So
Right.
how can we do? Can we compromise on the ADA issue a little bit? Maybe, maybe not. But we need to do that. And also, it's all about parking. I know, John, where parking is very
Parking is key.
the key. But let me talk about
Sam,
downtown Louisville a second.
You know you parked in a forbidden spot today.
I'm sorry?
You parked in a forbidden spot.
I know. I apologize.
It's listed Queen.
Queen, yes.
But isn't her car
It
plugged
won't
in
happen
the
again, John.
garage?
It won't happen again.
Is her car not plugged in the garage?
It's in the garage,
Yeah.
but when she takes it out, that's her spot.
Oh.
That's the spot, all right. It will never happen again, John. I apologize.
So that's so when it comes to parking, you better damn well make sure.
So-
His ring camera went off when you parked in that spot.
What I'm trying to say is that, I used to live in New York City, right? They build skyscrapers, no parking, but
Yeah.
they sell condos that are worth millions of dollars. So we have to take
This
a
is
look at.
not New York City.
I understand, but remember, we
It's all
wanted
about
people to. Go ahead.
Sam. It's all about revenue for the government. When I went to a zoning board meeting about this Heinz Tavern that they're putting up there with 12 parking spaces, and they need room for 70 cars, and they have room for 15 or 20. And the city council just went, let them put it up there. I asked the guy, how can you just let people go and buy a $200,000, $300,000 condo with no parking? He says it's all about revenue for the city. It's all about taxable revenue for the city.
Right. So that's my point is that we're living in, I call a metropolis. Low is more, it's a city. We have buses going on all the time. We have restaurant that can be within walking distance and parks and whatnot. So when it comes to parking, when it comes to refurbishing some of these, older building in our city, we need to not make it a permanent requirement that you have to have X number of spots for a certain number of person, because we want if the goal is to increase the housing stock in the city of Lowell, we need
Sam,
to do that. because
respectfully-
we need to encourage people to use
respectfully,
public transportation.
Next time, I want you to park at the train station and walk over here. That's what your city administration expects my new neighbors to do. Walk to the train station. Now, it's not bad today. Let's try it in February after a visit to Demoulas's.
Well, and I think that's what, I agree with you, the concept of the city, but we are not in the Northeast, we don't have that mindset because we can't walk, 12 months out of the year. My daughter's living in a location and she hasn't, for the first time in her life, in 23, hasn't had a car, and she's had to learn to walk to the grocery store or take public transportation to the grocery store and figured out how to do that. That is not something that was ingrained in her. When she moved down there, she was like, I can't be without a car. Now, 6 months in, she does want a car, but, she said, I've learned what other people automatically knew from other parts of the country. I think it's just because we don't have weather that allows it. We don't have, for the most part, services everywhere that allows us to live that type of lifestyle.
Right.
But so I think it's just it's a mindset, and it's growing up in that area. So like you grew up in New York City, so you that was a mindset because there was not cars.
I mean, this parking spot garage
What
that
of
you
our-
can run. I'm sorry, you can rent, which I did. I paid $500 a month just to rent
Paid
one
more
tiny
for your
spot.
car.
Yeah, and then I walk about a half a mile to the garage if I would want to
Sam,
use.
when
So
you go
what I-
home, when you go home and park for the night, how many footsteps do you have to take before you're in your house?
But 10. Concept, yeah. But if I were to buy a brand new apartment in downtown Lowell,
park at the
I
train
wouldn't mind.
station.
I
Park
wouldn't
at-
mind, John.
Park at the train station and see how you
No,
like it.
but if I did park at this train station, remember, if that is the case, I wouldn't have a car. That's because I would get rid of one is the car payment if the car hasn't been paid off yet. Two, the insurance on the car. I haven't had any accident in about 20 years, but my car insurance is like almost $1,500.
Why is it more
a year.
expensive in Lowell?
That's because there's a lot of accident in Lowell.
No, it's the state.
Okay.
It's the thing. Is your health insurance more expensive because you live in Lowell? No.
No.
The hospitals are all here. People get sick here. People die here.
Yeah. Mhm.
Why isn't your health insurance more in Lowell?
True. But my point is that if the city, if the wishes of the city is to increase the housing stocks, then we have to come to some sort of agreement to do that, and also to encourage people to change their mindset, to do a little bit more walking, to do some public transportation. Say that you want to buy grocery, you take an Uber. It's cheaper.
I get
Once a week.
3 texts for Linda.
Okay.
The city of Lowell should be trying to keep the PWHL in the city. It's a great and popular product, the professional women's hockey league.
Yeah.
Yes. But I
didn't
think
that
that's
ship sail?
done. I think they've gone to Brighton.
Yeah, I thought that.
Until the person who is at the end of a 30-year mortgage sells at a reduced rate, housing will not get cheaper. Ooh. The city of Lowell is not a walking community. If it was, the bike program would have been a success.
Well, I sort of disagree with Jay, respectfully disagree, because we don't have the mindset yet. It takes time. I know the bike program has been a failure because many of those bikes ended up in the canal. But if we, I've seen it. So it's just the mindset, and the people who are utilizing those bikes are typically not of the character, the mentality, who should be using it anyway.
But again, we live in an area where it's only it's only usable probably at best 8 months out of the year, maybe 9.
Yeah.
January,
Yeah.
February, can't always count on March.
Right.
But I mean, that's the thing. We're trying to get people to embrace these concepts that don't always work. Like, I'm not walking from the train station if it's
I'm not
20
coming.
below.
I'm not coming.
I'm not doing it.
Hillary, I'm 100% with you. These characters down at City Hall think that, well, we need housing. We need parking, too.
Well, I mean, I guess I would say shame on the person that buys it and then thinks that they have parking. That would be a question I would ask. Where would I park my car?
Hillary,
I've had a garage now for 20 years. I wouldn't buy a house without a garage because I've become very accustomed when it's raining or snowing or whatever. I do not want to get out of my car in the driveway.
Hillary,
My
real
kids
estate
know.
agents hope you don't ask about parking. And you
Well,
just
see?
assume all those spots downstairs are yours.
Oh.
They hope you
Shame
don't
on the
ask.
person buying. It's we've got to. People have to be a smarter consumer, in my opinion.
Well, like in Tingsboro, I go by houses, and they're on top of a hill, and I say, what were they thinking in New England?
Right.
What are they going to do in the winter? It's the first thing that goes into my mind.
Exactly. When I had the
Slide
choice of
into the
lots
main
in
road?
in my neighborhood, there were 3 lots available when we purchased our lot, and I looked at 2 of them, and I said to my husband, I don't want to navigate that driveway. Are you kidding me? I would never live here. So we picked the flattest lot that was left.
So, it's all what you're used to, or what you...
Right.
And it's very personal.
Yeah.
But I going back to the Massachusetts and being an older developed state and the cities, and you've got, is Pepper in your district?
Yes.
An old mill
Dunstable.
town. The same type of thing, that you've got property that really is not being utilized.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for 50 years I've heard them say, oh, we got to revitalize downtown Lowell. I don't know what the answer is, but
I'm hopeful that as an elected official, one day I can bring everybody together and start talking, discussing, and touching the toughest issue. You have to touch it. You don't do the with kid glove, because none of the elected officials in the city of Lowell right now is talking seriously. And there's a rumor that the DMV is going someplace else.
There's not a rumor, it's a fact.
It's a fact. There you go. Yeah. So as an elected official, I want to bring people together and make that into a grocery store. I think it's an anchor store. We need to do that. We need to get that done. It's tough, but we need to bring, Market Basket or Stop and Shop or somebody who can come here and become an anchor store. It doesn't have to be a gigantic supermarket, but it has everything that everybody needs. I live in New York. We didn't have supermarket. I walk a quarter of a mile to go to the nearest, bodega type of thing, but I had everything that I need. It's not as plentiful, the choice, but it's there. But the RMV itself, the building itself, is huge enough that it can make into a nice supermarket. And the city, whoever the potential tenant may be, and the landlord needs to come together, the neighborhood need to come together instead of just saying, oh, I don't want this, we want this, and we have to compromise. And that's one way, the first and initial step to really revitalize downtown. That's because I want people to come in and shop in downtown. Yeah. I want people to be able to, drink coffee in downtown after dark, or to have a beer and feel safe about it. And having said that, by having a grocery store as an anchor, it will allow other small businesses to stay open longer. As it is, by 6 or 7 o'clock, there's not much at all on Middlesex with the RMV is dead. Market Street, beside the Athenian corner and a few other places, is dead. And then the homeless people, the drug addicts, come and congregates, and it scares people away. But if you have an anchor store, business owner will come together and will pressure the city councilor, the elected city council, especially those who are elected from downtown low, to really pay attention to it, to really work and to come up with a solution, a tough solution to solve those problems. We have to tackle all those problems all at the same time, but the key is to get an anchor store to come here and do it. We don't have that.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Except for Market Basket and the Acre, right?
That's too far. I'm talking about
I
downtown.
agree.
We have to have something in downtown.
I've always been amazed.
Yeah.
You have nothing. They can't even get milk and bread.
I mean, there's a store, I believe, on Market Street, but it's not as big. It's not a
Right.
bodega that you would find in New York City in the neighborhood that I live in. But still, it's not big enough.
Yeah.
But if you have a sizable building, they can put in a nice grocery
Well, that's
store.
why people need a car.
They'll just take the cart home.
Yeah.
We'll take the
that's
cart
why
home,
they need
and
a
then
car.
we'll throw that
No,
in the
they
kitchen.
can't- or take an
They
Uber.
can't go grocery shopping.
Yeah, they can take an Uber.
Well, particularly
creative.
in the area.
Yeah.
I mean, and you've got a lot of people living in downtown Lowell now.
Right.
That I don't know what else you'd do with some of those buildings.
Again, you need to talk to those landlords. You have to compromise with them. You got to give them
Well, it
carrot
can't-
and sticks all at the same time.
It
to
can't be
really do-
cheaper for them to leave,
Yeah.
I'm saying we can't have it so that it's cheaper for them to leave it empty than it is to put something in it. It should
Correct.
be the other way around. The incentive should be to have a business in there versus leaving it vacant.
Linda, what do you-
How does Sam feel about the audit we voted for?
I support the audit 100%. We need to do that. A lot of time people confuse that. They simply want to audit the state legislature, which is fine. That's what we needed because we want to uncover all the corruptions, the inside dealings, the NDA that state lawmakers had made with the victims. But what I want to do is to extend beyond just auditing the state legislature, is to audit every agency in Massachusetts. And that's where we have a huge net gain in terms of saving. And with that saving, provided that we don't do anything, we need to get that net saving, whether it's $1 billion, $2 billion, give it back to the city and towns.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that they can fund school and everything else. I mean, that we can see a lot of net saving.
Sam,
here.
it's going to be a very difficult task when you have state employees who cannot get fired.
That I understand.
They don't
but-
have to do their job. I mean, most of the state employees do a damn good job. But because of the goof-offs in their office, they throttle back their enthusiasm to push excellence out the door. And that's something that's just, it's a problem in Lowell's government, and it's a problem in the state government.
Yeah.
And it's not addressed. Linda?
Home run lender, it's like the person who buys a home at the bottom of a hill and then wonders why the cellar floods. Yes. News report tell me 100 people leave Massachusetts every day. What needs to happen to reverse this trend? Good one.
Well, we need to have a new governor
Yeah.
that have an executive experience, business experience, proven leadership to lead our state, to retain and attract new business to Massachusetts. We need to lower the income tax. We have so many taxes right now, all sorts of things. So I support lowering the income tax from 5% to 4%. And the first thing that we need to do to make it affordable, my opponent keeps saying it's affordable, but he has done nothing. That is to get rid of all those delivery charges on the electric bills
Ah, yes.
and gas bill. those delivery charges represent about 2.5 times the cost of usage. And as a result, if you can buy a home or you can rent an apartment, but it's most of your income is to pay for all these additional taxes, it makes it unaffordable. Remember, you pay just being a customer of National Grid, you have to pay $10. National Grid now put a new electric meter reading, and now they're charging us. So essentially, we're paying for everything, and National Grid has no risk in anything at all. They put a new line under the ground or above us, they charge us for that. So we need to get rid of it. We need to get rid of not get rid of it, but the commissioner on Public Utility Commission, I believe they are in the cahoot with the utility companies. They have done nothing to help us.
Of course.
Now, why are we paying for the solar panel? So that a multi-millionaire on the Cape or Yarmouth can have solar panel on their roof, and they only live there 2 months out of the year. We're subsidizing all of these things. We need to get rid of that, because that is those are taxes, and on the working family, that is difficult for us to sustain and make it unaffordable. Renters, homeowners alike. Summertime you have to pay higher rate for electricity already, and then on top of that, those delivery charges are based on the, I believe, therm that you use.
Yeah.
Kilowatt.
The watts. Yeah.
With the heat we've had, everybody's electricity bill for the past month is going to be through the roof.
I mean, you can't even read a National Grid bill. You cannot even understand it.
No. Yeah. So I will call for that. I will introduce legislation to get rid of all of it or reduce it. We have a public hearing with the Public Utility Commission, and force their hand, call the executive of National Grid and Eversource to come and have them justify why they're charging us $10 for being their customer.
Well, they have the most expensive lawyers in the state.
Oh, of course they are.
National-
All been bought up by them already.
They always have the best lobbyists.
You liken it to everything, right? So, this issue really bothers me that, all of a sudden we voted to have, legal marijuana and cannabis, and the cities and towns that accepted it were going to be able to negotiate contracts with those companies to come in, and we were going to get additional taxes on it, and then and everybody was going to benefit. So it was going to be great. Well, now all of a sudden, they hired all the lobbyists, and they got rid of all of the contracts and everything for the city, So the town built a budget around thinking we were going to have this money coming in that would help offset things. And then the state said, nope, we're gonna get rid of it, and everybody in the state benefits from the tax on the marijuana, not just the towns that had it.
Right.
And I mean, it's like that with everywhere. So they got a foothold in, then they got a lobbyist that said, you know what, let's change the rules midstream.
Why do we have questions in the ballot? I mean, and we have multiple questions this year. We have questions that people say overwhelmingly, yes, we want an audit. And then they pay no regard. Don't bother printing the questions.
Right. Well, the lottery and the pot shops were supposed to go towards schools and police and roads.
Who's stealing the money?
That's why we need an audit. That's why we need an audit.
Yes, you need an audit. But I remember when they were going for the pot shop, and they were saying, they talked about the host communities. And I brought it up at the meeting that's what used to happen with the liquor stores. Some of that tax went back to anybody that had liquor stores or any kind of liquor establishment, back to the community. And then I happened to notice that Carlisle was getting some of that money, and it was a dry town. Now, how does that happen?
Well, that's what I mean. I can tell you the problem with some, it's a cash-only business, so.
Read this one, Lynn, then we'll go back to you guys.
Once the council removed the homeless from the common, they thought they solved the homeless problem.
The homeless problem is it's subsidized by the federal government. Each one of those characters has an EBT card that gets refueled. Some get refueled weekly, some get refueled twice a month, some once a month. That's got to stop. You got to work. If you want an EBT card, you got to work.
Yeah.
Well, I got no legs. Okay, well, find a job. They can use your hands. There are jobs out there. Go and find a job. It'll bring the cost
Well-
of employees down.
We have to have that, like incentive, basically. I like the Clinton welfare reform, where you have, the people who are on welfare have to work. So we need to do that. We don't want to cut off the benefit from them completely, but we need to gradually,
Give them
move
incentive.
We have an incentive. If you don't work, you don't get the benefit. But if you do work, we will subsidize you, and that way you
Don't take all the health care away.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't take all the health care, but we need
If
to
you
be
want.
able to help them. That way, it gives them, an incentive to understand what it's like to work, and then get out of their rhythm of not doing anything at all, and then putting their hand out and say, I'm a victim, because we need to change them, help them changing that they are not a victim. They can change. They can make their lives better for themselves. They can sort of become a generational people who live on public housing. They can own their home. They can own their property. Because remember, when you're on public assistance, there's only so much asset you can have. I believe it's under $3,000 a month. If you have more than money than that, they automatically cut off your ET benefit.
Yeah.
Many of those things. So essentially, they're not able to do the things that they want to do and achieve the dream that they want for themselves as well as for their children. I know that a lot of incentive for these folks who are on public assistance to do other extracurricular underground economy, and we need to get rid of that as well. We need to enforce that. And if your boyfriend or your girlfriend are selling drugs, and then if that person get arrested, and if that boyfriend happened to live in that house, bye, see ya. You cannot do that. And we had all these beautiful homes who are affordable. Suddenly the boyfriend move in, the girlfriend move in, and the boyfriend are drug dealers, and turning that particular apartment complex into
So
a
they
drug
don't
den.
have a right to have guests? They can't have guests?
Somehow, some way, I'm not sure if the boyfriend
Charge
live-
them.
Charge them for something. yeah.
No, you can't have guests, overnight guests. That's it. Yeah, but my son's in from out of town. That's what hotels are for, honey. You're living in subsidized housing.
Yeah.
We have rules. But I have 2 bedrooms, and I only need 1. Let's get you a smaller unit.
Exactly.
I like the fact that you're running for Senate, and there are 40 senators, right?
Yes,
You say-
40 senators.
You have a chance to make a difference.
I
The
do.
House is a little different. That's a
Right.
little more difficult.
I mean, with me being that I'm a Republican and I'm very vociferous, I'm not an elected politician. Say that I am elected this year, and then I will do a lot of things, and people don't elect me again. I don't care. I'll go back to do my job. I have other things that I do, but I will do the best to protect the interests of our taxpayers throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and I will bring about the tough issues, tough conversation within the city of Lowell. I mean, I have 4 other towns that I need to take care of as a state senator, but I really want to see Lowell revitalized. I went to Newburyport there a couple of weeks ago. Beautiful. I mean, and I like to see, maybe not 100% like Newburyport, but we have Merrimack River. We can do something change something.
Did you see people at the stop signs with signs, help me out, at the red lights? Did you see people with signs for that
Yeah.
in Newburyport?
No.
I wonder why.
I wonder why, yeah.
I wonder
Yeah,
why.
yeah. But no, talking about the waterfront, it's beautiful. It is. I mean, I could spend the whole day walking up and down, spending my money at
We
the
have a
restaurant.
beautiful
and eateries.
waterfront here too, but
We do.
We gave it to the university, and they're so stingy with it. Can you believe that university wouldn't give free parking to Lowellians for the Lasher Ballpark for 4th of July?
I did not realize that.
That's wrong.
That is wrong, because the university is not
Not a
paying
good-
taxes.
not
And you know what?
partner.
We don't say anything to the university because that's where I want to get a job.
Well,
I
yeah,
want a
my promise,
job
John.
there.
I'm going to change that. As an elected senator, I will change that. And I know Marty Meehan may not like it. He'll probably get all his people to vote against me in support of,
They
my
never
do-
would anyway.
Yeah.
So you got the
But
wrong
I'm going to change that. No, this is wrong. The 4th of July, oh my God. I mean, I don't mind paying $10 to park there to see the game, which is, I'm perfectly fine. But for the 4th of July, and for them to charge the people of the city of Lowell just to watch a firework, and yet they're not paying taxes to the city on all those properties. And when they got that ball field, I mean, my God, what, $2, $3, something like that? That's ridiculous. No,
They took the arena for $1, and we had to continue to make payments on our portion. Universities
some
throughout
elected
the city-
official are not doing their job.
Well, all I have to say about that is that Marty Mean got a bridge, and we're still waiting for the Rock Bridge. So whatever he has and whatever he did. Great show today. A question: French fries and mashed potatoes. French fries, mashed potatoes, or scalloped potatoes. Which do you prefer? On your earlier mention, the Sweetheart Inn is a hidden gem around great food. Yes, Jay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
And tomorrow's City Life, we got Evelyn Thorne's going to be here, Sam Chase will be here, and Vivian Merrill, she's our insurance expert. She's fun to have. Back to you, Lynn. Time is short. What kind of potatoes do you like?
depends on what I'm eating with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with a burger, I don't want mashed potatoes. I want French fries.
Right.
But
Well, I could always have mashed potatoes.
with a piece of ham, I would like scalloped potatoes because I like scalloped potatoes.
There you go. Yeah,
So, I mean, it
depends on
just
the food that
depends.
you pair. Yeah.
Now, what about you? What would you think of? What is your staple?
At a cookout.
At a cookout, burger. I mean, I could stack like this, and the onion.
Yeah.
You know, you saute the onions and everything. You know, mayonnaise, Dijon mustard. Oh, I could do that, and then I'm in heaven.
But your starch is more rice, I suspect.
More rice. But I try not, as I get older, I don't try not to eat much rice anymore. My wife keeps saying, you don't eat this. And then again, I splurge myself with burgers and buns. I'm not sure. And French fries. I'm not
Maybe
sure.
the rice
Okay.
is better than the burger.
Well, what about you, John? Are you a mashed potato or fries or scallop?
Mashed potatoes with gravy. I'll take that any day of the week. If they have that at a cookout, I'll eat it at a cookout.
I have
Mashed
to
potatoes
say-
and gravy.
Mashed potato from Market Basket. That's one kind I forget, but it's good. They have a lot of butters in it. Oh, I can eat that anytime. Bite them up, pop it in the
Oh, yeah.
microwave.
Yeah.
I'm in heaven. Yeah.
I agree.
Market Basket, good company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their sandwiches,
I
it's
hope
amazing.
they stay that way. I feel.
I hope, yeah,
fear
they're
the ousting and
Yeah.
the family disputes are going to change the.
Well, small,
Flavor
family
like
business,
that.
you're always going to have that. You don't think Stop and Shop's fights?
Stop and Shop sold out a long time
There's
ago
a
to a
big
big-
mouth in the DeMoulins family that gets them all the press.
No, but I'm saying Stop and Shop sold out a while ago to a big corporation, and you saw the change in that store.
And when there's a fight at the Board of Directors meeting, it doesn't get any media attention.
Yeah, but no, it's not
I'm
the
just saying, I
same.
think there could be some more conglomeration of.
I think so. I mean, if Market
Market
Basket is
Basket.
to be put on the market, it'd be worth more than what it is worth right now.
Oh.
What, they're 10 billion,
Yeah.
someone would snap it up for about 20 or 30 billion dollars easily. And then to recoup, those venture capitalists need to change everything, increase the price and all of that stuff. So I'm hopeful that it is not sold anytime soon.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't change it.
Well, I got to tell you, Walmart's very happy that Arthur DeMoulis had to step down.
I'm sure.
They don't like at Walmart. They talk about Arthur DeMoulis
Yeah.
headquarters. That's how good of a marketeer he is.
Yeah.
And I believe that short term, they're going to see the error of their ways and say, let's put Artie back.
Well, at least it's,
When the profits start dropping,
yeah. Well, if they start changing their business format, it will. But everybody, the thing about Market Basket, and I don't know how it worked in other communities because they spread out all over the place. But in Lowell, everybody it seemed I went to school with worked at Market Basket.
Yeah.
Well, it was DeMorse at the time.
It's a great company to work with.
Yes.
When I was collecting signatures while I was running for Congress or for the state rep during the state senator during the special election, I spoke to many people who came out to take a smoke break. Their supervisor, their like department managers. Many of them have spoken glowingly of Market Basket. Different level, you get certain compensation, you get quarterly bonus and everything. And many of them say, like, look, I just have a high school education. I've been working here for 20 years, 30 years. They are very happy. So
Absolutely,
it's been
good benefits.
Excellent employers for many of our
Well, they're
citizens.
community oriented too. Any ball field, anything you go to, Market Basket is advertising. Market Basket does it, and as far as the veterans, they always allow people, Girl Scouts, to sell their cookies. They actually interact with their communities.
Yeah.
Very important. And I would rather pay, even if they charge some more. I would go because of that. their interaction and their
Well,
being.
I like the
considered.
one across the river. It has
Oh.
everything in it. When I go collect signature, that's the place I go. Like,
Oh,
that's the
yeah,
place,
yeah.
You know,
Oh,
to get
sure
the-
you are. Sure you're going to get. No, you're not.
Yeah, I gotta get so everything in there. I want it. Like, oh,
It is.
great,
It's,
yeah.
and it's so convenient.
Oh, very convenient, yeah. And
So-
like I don't have to buy much. Just I just drive there every other day. If I want a nice fresh steak, it's freshly
Yep.
cut steak. I don't need to put it in the fridge anymore. Like, that's a place to be. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about going over there. When is that bridge going to be done?
It's
get over
working
there.
on it. It's
I
working
think-
on it. It's been
oh,
working on it
yeah.
right now. It's been
Hampton,
working.
Hampton-
Hampton,
government.
Hampton will be done years before that.
I am hopeful that it won't be over budget. And building a bridge is.
Well, of course it will.
Oh, come on.
It's being built at the speed of government.
Of course, yeah. Everybody has to inspect
There's
and
no
touch.
incentive. There's no incentive to finish early.
No. Well, I just hope I wish they'd take some of the questions off the ballot if they're not going to pay any attention to it, because they say the ballot is going to be huge, and that's
That's
going
the
to
problem,
deter
yeah.
people from voting.
The thing is that why do we have an elected state legislature who has done nothing, and yet they have all these important quote-unquote ballot questions coming up and have people voting on it? I mean, even me, when I read some of the ballot question and the explanation, I'm confused. I don't know what I need to
It's
vote
always
for
the
anymore.
opposite,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, the ballot questions seem, there should, I don't know that there's a great way to do the ballot questions, because they, obviously, people get frustrated.
Mhm.
People then just go in and vote one race and leave everything else blank.
Yeah.
Well, why bother?
Yeah.
They pay no regard anyway.
Well, that's what I mean. If the audit taught us anything, the audit ballot question is that it doesn't matter what people say.
Yeah.
If someone somewhere in the bureaucracy decides it's not appropriate, we can ignore it.
Yeah.
Well, right, before the audit, there was the taxes to go with the tax. We all said, yes, we voted for that. We're still waiting. Unfortunately, at certain times near that bridge, the traffic backs up to the firehouse.
That's because of stupid traffic lights. We need to get somebody who can actually
Well-
understand and program the traffic lights so they operate properly.
Yeah.
Oh, and John, Lowell is the only place that they allow them to just stop in the middle of the intersection. I have never seen that anywhere. I don't see it in Tingsboro. They don't just stop, follow you see the car in front of you, don't you look to see, what's happening? You don't just stop and follow it right up its butt to, and then nobody goes. It happens in
When you-
every intersection
When
in
you ask
Lowell.
your favorite city councilor, they'll say to you, well, what do you want me to do? Ticket the bastards.
I was gonna say, in Florida, if you go through a red light, they'll track you down and mail you a ticket. I had a friend that had a rental car. The rental car company found out she was the one driving it at the time of the ticket, and she got the ticket.
I'm
That
sure
should
they
be.
could have
That should be.
a
Well,
cop.
I'm going to ask Sam before I run out of time. What are you going to do about the piss-poor performance of our state police?
Of what? I'm sorry?
State police.
State police, piss-poor performance. What will you do about that? They get a ton of money,
Yep.
beautiful vehicles.
Mhm.
They look like $1 million, and they don't do a doggone thing. They sleep in the cruisers.
Yeah. I'm hopeful that the state legislature would come up with some sort of solution to reform
Okay,
that.
it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the union is very powerful, so no one is going to talk or do anything about it, and and I'm hopeful that with Morris Healy's intention of taking about $150 million from the state pension fund, some of the union member would wake up and realize that, hey, this is not.
Well, I got news for you. If she takes $150 million from the pension fund, it's never coming back.
Oh, it would never come back. No, it would never come back. Yeah, and the public sector unions, especially the teachers and the state police officers, need to wake up and understand that, and that something has to be done in terms of.
And when the word gets out, because right now that's how they control government voters. They tell the government voters via text and email through the union, don't vote for this guy, vote for this gal, because he wants to take away your benefits.
So Maura Healy is trying to take away their benefit.
Third rail,
Yep.
she's done.
Well,
Yep.
we'll see.
Well, I hope so because.
I mean, now all of a sudden she's found special ed, voc ed again, that was what she ran on 4 years ago, and now she threw him a bone. She threw him a little money to
Who's
improve the
voting?
course on on vocational ed. She ran on that 4 years ago. She was very concerned. She was going to improve them. She was going to make more voc schools. Nothing.
The
Nothing.
media makes a mistake when they
She'll
don't
start
say.
doing something
Now,
now.
Miss Healy, Mrs. Healy, whatever your name is, I like her. Nice gal to talk to. Very, very pleasant gal. But I would say to her, if she was sitting where you are, if you don't do that within 365 days when you're in office, will you resign?
Oh, and she'd say, yes, of course I would.
And then I get it on video, and I'll play the hell out of it.
I
Hey,
wish
you got
I...
to say goodbye. We got 30 seconds.
Hey,
Yeah.
nice having you on. Good luck. I hope to see you again. So, Hillary, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Everybody
Helen.
be
Thank
very
you.
safe. It's going to stay cool. It's going to be another hot weekend. And thank you for getting up early.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you again.
This is Tewksbury's 4th of July. What a nice time this was.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming down to the Tewksbury 4th of July celebration. This is our country's 250th anniversary, and we're down here to celebrate and enjoy all our freedoms that we get each year. We probably have about 250, 300 residents down enjoying free ice cream, free food, and we're having a great celebration. The kids are having a great time. The weather's excellent, and we're just glad everybody could come down and enjoy it.
Yeah, this is a great event. This is my second year, and I'm going to keep coming back because it's so much fun. I brought my daughter today, Meas. She didn't know it was going to be so hot, but it's a beautiful event, and I love watching all the kids eat all these things, all the pie and the watermelon.
We're having a great day to celebrate our 250th anniversary of our country. We're so lucky to be here. Thank you so much.
And again, I just want to thank Mark Kratman for putting this event together every year. I know it's a lot of work, but seeing the crowd today, that it really paid off. And everyone have a safe and happy 4th. Thank you again, Mark.
Everybody enjoy their 4th of July. Have a great holiday weekend. Be safe and stay hydrated. Thank you.